All right, just a putrid half of football from the Arizona Cardinals to their first playoff game since 2015, and this is the performance that they're putting forth. The offense, a complete no-show. The defense having its own struggles as it goes. But, I mean, this has just been a complete collapse for this team as it continues. They're going to lose their fifth game in 6 tries, and we're going to break it down. There's not a lot to be – there's nothing to really be excited about. I'm not going to try to dress anything up. It's Bo. It's Alex. It's Locked On Cardinals.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Air it out in the chat. Let the Arizona Cardinals have it right now. We see you guys right there. This is therapy. After a half like that, that's the only thing that we can do right now. Cardinals down 21-0. When you look at the statistics offensively, I mean, I don't think we've ever seen anything this bad during the Kyler Murray, Cliff Kingsbury era. But I mean, you can't find an excuse for anybody for why they're getting blown up on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. There's just not any positive plays going out there. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals defense actually has gotten a couple stops to end the half. And I don't know if that's just because the Rams took the foot off the gas. I don't know if McVay's just trying to be a gentleman to his friend Cliff Kingsbury. Doesn't want to have to get him any Instagram hottie sideline passes in the future. But, man, I mean, this is a complete embarrassment of football. Kyler Murray, when Cliff Kingsbury said earlier this week he thought he was going to be in for the game of his or performance of his career, 7 for 17, 28 yards, 2 picks, including a brutal pick 6 on 3rd down from his own end zone. I mean, Alex, this is a chance for you to spike the football. What's going on? Why are you being so quiet?
I got 30 more minutes of my moratorium. Number one, I'm a man of the, I'm a rule follower, Bo. I'm not a ruffian like you.
Mean, I don't know why you put rules in place to only handicap yourself here.
I don't need to do a victory lap on this, Bo. Now, here's the thing. This was about just not showing up for the second game in a row for the first half. We saw it in Seattle. We saw it against Seattle. We saw it tonight. Sure, they've got tall guys around the line of scrimmage. So is the rest of the NFL. Okay, the offense didn't even look that great for the Rams. Like, it's not like this defense is getting absolutely abused. Sony Michel had one chunk run. Cam Akers had one run that set up a touchdown. Okay, but it's not like the defense is playing atrociously. They've just been on the field the whole game. You know, Bo, and like, and the pick 6 is one thing. Okay, that is, I mean, just piling on. At this point, all in all, the offense just hasn't been able to have sustained drives. They haven't been able to get any sort of momentum. The one time they did was the ricochet off James Conner's hand. You know, and I mean, Kyler Murray threw an interception before that, and Rondale Moore just took it back. So technically, he threw 2 interceptions on one drive. I'm not going to talk about the coaching staff at all. This is the offense just not having any sort of cohesion. I mean, I think that's obvious, right?
No, for sure. This is a complete collapse of the entire team. This is coaching. This is lack of execution. This is lack of physicality. This is the Rams coming up and showing out to play. I mean, the Rams are playing great football, but then the Arizona Cardinals are playing terrible football, and it's a horrible mix. It's a perfect storm for a blowout. That's what it was in the first half, 21-0. Arizona Cardinals, they're going to have to play some defense to open up the second half, and they're going to have to make a stop if they want to have any chance at this. I've never had done a podcast where Alex has been more glass half full than I have. I don't know. I mean, you can have a moratorium, but let's be real. I mean, Kyler Murray is getting 0 time. He got 0 time in the first quarter and a half to make any plays. And then anytime he was under pressure, he was making brutal decisions with the football. They showed the stat, and they came out of the gates. It was 14 passes to 2 rushes. This offense, they weren't doing enough to do themselves any favor with the way that the offensive line was playing. I mean, the offensive line was just getting blown off the ball. DJ Humphries was a turnstile for Von Miller, one of the sacks. It's been just a bad performance. I can't put any lipstick on this pig.
Yeah,
and make it look any better.
The Cardinals have one more first down than Sean McVay has successful challenges. Like you can use like any sort of measurable you want. That was just a flat out ass beating in the first half. Now, here's the thing.
There you go.
It was. I mean, they're down 21-0. I'm watching the damn game. Do you want to see my chicken thighs? I mean, they are magical. That's been my love affair in the first half. Okay, I've been in the kitchen. I've been just cooking up a storm Lowry seasoned salt for the win. Okay. In the second half, if the Cardinals can get a stop and put points on the board, crazier things have happened. You know, like they're down 3 full touchdowns, obviously. One of them, like the defense gave up 2 of them. And I'm trying here. like this is where it's like, you know what? No. Here, look. This is this is what I'll say. If they can get a 3 and out, okay, or 5, 6 plays and out, or whatever it is, and they can come down and score a touchdown, then you put the ball solely in Kyler's hands and say, go win a football game. There's no rules for this in the playoffs. There's no rules when legitimately nothing has worked, but Kyler Murray is the best player the Arizona Cardinals have, and in Kyler, you have to trust. And that's where we are for the rest of the game. It's, you know what? Go all run go routes, and if Kyler have 100 rushing yards in the first half, in the second half, whatever needs to happen, it's going to start and end with Kyler. And it can't be in the pocket because that ain't working. So if you're going to start doing designed rollouts to the right, he loves going to the left, design rollouts to the left, moving the pocket to the left. If he's more comfortable with that, whatever the hell needs to happen, the Cardinals need to shake it up. Taylor Swift, that's Taylor Swift's song, right? I'm delusional.
I don't even know who my
what are we doing
right
here
now? I mean, you're being way too positive. You're quoting Taylor Swift, talking about what you cooked in the kitchen during that brutal first half. I mean, look, the Arizona Cardinals, they have to save face. The guys have to compete for their jobs for next season. There's a lot of guys that are up for some big contracts in the offseason. They've got to play for those contracts. Nobody has shown up. The offense has been the biggest issue. The defense has been okay. They were on a couple short fields. Third down, Odell Beckham has been just carving them up.
I called that in the red zone inside the 5-yard line. That's the guy you have to stop. Sure. And
because they've stopped Cooper Kupp. If you were to look at Cooper Kupp's stats and you were to show yourself in the past before this game started, you said, "Oh, that's nice." But when you look at everything else, Matthew Stafford is having a perfect game throwing the football, 6 for 9, 93 yards and a touchdown. He's been sacked once. That was to kind of open the game. I thought the defense played well early on, but then they couldn't weather the storm of the offense. What was it? 4 straight 3 and outs, right? They just couldn't get anything going, and that defense was on the field too often, and there was just nothing that they could do at the time to do anything to get anything going to kind of weather this storm. It was they need a miracle for the most part. It's not something that hasn't been done before in NFL, but the chances are very slim. They need to get something to build confidence because look, Kyle, I know I see people in the chat. McCoy, let's stop with that discussion. Let's stop with the move off Kyler Murray as your franchise quarterback. He needs to build a little confidence to where his only lasting memory of the postseason is him getting his brain bashed in by the Los Angeles Rams. You have to create some sort of positive momentum. If it's not to just win this game, it's for the future of this franchise.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, like we've seen crazier things. Okay. So they're not down 35-0 with 6 minutes left in the game. Okay. There is another half. When we talked at 7-0, when we talked at 10-2, they've got this massive in perpetuity safety net because they're going to make the playoffs. Since then, they couldn't clinch on their own. Sean McVay had to do that. And now you come in here and you put up that crap box performance in the first half, but there's still time. There's still Kyler Murray, and that's still Matt Stafford. So really, those things are still true, okay? if Stafford can go, if they go 3 and out here and the Cardinals go down and put up a score and they get them 3 and out again, this game is wide open. Like, it's not like they're down 35-0 with 6 minutes left. You know what I mean? That's something that needs to be remembered. I understand that this is Stockholm Syndrome for Arizona Cardinals fans, for Arizona sports fans in general. This is where you eat. This is where you love to be because it's where you're most comfortable being, negative and which is true because so many bad things have happened organizationally across all 4 majors. But there's still time, and I still have Bo, do you know how hard I'm pinching?
How much did you drink during the first half?
In Ocean's 13, where one of the guys during the lies had to put his foot down on a pin, like to where it hurt, so it looked across the board like he was telling the truth the whole time. That's where I'm at right now. But the Cardinals have enough playmakers to make something happen. And can we stop this now? I'm done. I've got nothing positive left.
To stop. I mean, if we are going to go glass half full,
what needs to happen here? Like, let's be honest about this. What needs to happen in the second half? All joking aside,
defense has to come out immediately, make a stop, like 3 and out, and then the offense has to come out and get a quick score. It's 21-7. You're still looking at just an absolute Herculean effort in getting back into this contest, and they'd have to do something that we didn't see anything in the first half that would resemble that in the first half. They did nothing. We saw no Zach Ertz. We saw AJ Green almost make a catch. Rondell Moore almost made a catch that turned it into an interception. Like, there was just very little positives. And unfortunately, when we talk about running the football and we emphasize that leading up to this game, when you're down 21-0, you just can't do that. You don't have enough time left in the game to do that. So
they can still run the ball though. They can still run the ball and stick to their game plan. They're down 3 scored, like it's stop, score, stop, and then you've got a completely different ball game. You cannot throw the ball first, second, and third down from here until the end of the game. You can't do it. The pass rush is too good. You have to keep the defense honest. You need to run the ball. The game plan hasn't changed. And you know what? A lot less can go wrong when you just hand the ball off in the backfield than what we saw in the first half. You can still run the ball for now.
At some point, your franchise quarterback has to show up, and he has to make big plays for this team because there isn't anybody else on that. I mean, you can get a couple runs from your running backs, but you got to get big plays from Murray. Thanks for everybody tuning in to halftime show here on Locked On Cardinals. We've got our post-game reaction show right here. Follow on Twitter at LockedOnAZCards. Follow
Alex
Clancy's Corner. You'll see a lot more negative takes than you saw or heard in this halftime show from him, and you'll see pictures of chicken, I think. All right, Cardinals. Chicken? They've got to come back. Let's see. It's all about getting back into this football game. We'll talk about it after, and let's see what happens in the last potentially half of football for the 2021-2022 season for the Arizona Cardinals. These either show up, show out, get it done, or there's a lot of questions going into the offseason. We'll talk to you guys soon.